So now we're going to start producing some 3D perspective sketches, drawings of our property in here. So we can do some 3D views and perspective views from inside the building as well as outside. So I'll just start off with doing some outside ones first. To drop in a 3D perspective view, you actually need to be using this button up here. So in the top middle to the left slightly, we've got our default 3D view button. Just to the right of that, we've got the little arrow. Bring that down, and you actually want a camera. So this is what we want to do on a camera. So on the outside here, can you see I've got the camera icon on my cursor? You will notice on your drawing, I expect, if you move outside of the crop region view, the camera disappears. So you can see that moving and disappearing there. Don't worry about that. That's just, it's not actually inside the crop region where we want it to see. So we can still place our camera down here somewhere. So you want to be a fair distance away from your property so you can get a good view of it. So I'm just going to left click over here, and then when I move my cursor across, you can see you've got these three blue lines. This one here is the depth. So this middle one where my cursor is, that's the depth. So I want to make sure that I've got the whole of the building in, and I'm just going to drop the cursor over there. And then you can see when you click that, we get this new tab because we've got a new page down here in our project browser. So we've now got our 3D view 1. And every time I add one, this number just goes up. But we can rename that if we were so wish. So I'm just going to start moving these handles around. Or at least I would if I could grab hold of it. There we go. I'm quite sure what's wrong with that one. That's it. Now we've got it. And once I've got the outline of the property where I want it to be, so I want to make sure I get the whole thing in. You can see it's in 2-point perspective, so we can see this is where we're at with it. Once we've got that done, if I want to get rid of this outside box, in the properties box on the left-hand side, I've got this crop region view. Just unclick that and click apply. That gets rid of the outside box. That cleans up a little bit. Down the bottom left-hand side down here, you can see I've got this detail level set at minimum. Set that to fine, so it just increases the detail level. And it's quite nice to turn this into a realistic. Just makes it look a little bit more nicer. Very good for working with clients to show what things are going to look like. So that's an outside view, and that's how you would do that. So if you want to do an inside view, just go back to your ground floor, then you can pick a room of where you'd like to have a look at something. So let's have a look at this lounge here, for instance. There's not much in it, so there won't be much to look at, but it's the same thing again. So up the top here, just a little arrow to the left, to the right of the default 3D view. Click on camera, and then I'm going to drop one in this top corner up here and just bring the camera out to how far I want to see it. It'll be out there somewhere. So it's exactly the same thing again. So just start pulling these handles about so that you've got the view that you want of the room. You can adjust it to pretty much whatever size you want, and you'll get different views. Sometimes you want to actually cut bits out. So like all this is quite messy on the left-hand side here. So I'm just going to get rid of that and just show the actual room itself. Bring that a bit more there, and it's exactly the same thing again. So on the left hand side, crop region view, get rid of that, click apply, and then down the bottom left hand side here, click on fine, and I'm going to go realistic again, and you get a nice drawing. You can zoom in on bits as well. So that's how you do an inside one. Once you're in these 3D views, these perspective views, these ones down here, you can actually take a walk around your building. And to do that, you're going to click on this button over here. This is the fly mode. So I'm just going to go back to this view here and show you what this is. So you can do it in any of these 3D views. Do bear in mind that once you've clicked on the fly mode and you start moving around, this drawing will change. So if you particularly want this drawing, just keep this one and do another new camera view, and then drop that down, and then you can start to take a walk through it. To do that, you've got the paper airplane on the right hand side. This only comes up when you're in a perspective view. So click on the paper airplane, and then to move around your building, you can see my cursor has changed. So to move things about, I'm just going to hold down my left button on the mouse, and I can move the mouse around, and you can see I can start to move around. To move forwards, backwards and sideways, I'm going to use the arrow keys on my keyboard. So I'm now pressing the right hand arrow key, left hand, I'm going backwards, and now I'm going forwards with the up and the down keys. So what you can do is you can actually start moving around your property using the mouse. It takes a little while to get used to it. Once you start getting used to it, you can then start moving inside your property and then start having a good look around with whatever it is you want to have a look at. So I'm in the lounge. If I want to move through into a different room, I can just move through the walls, straight through the walls. You don't have to open doors and stuff like that. So into here, now I'm into the kitchen. You can see I've dropped down quite a bit. That's because when I was moving, I had the cursor pointing down, so I'm heading towards the floor. So that is something that does take a little while to get used to, and how to actually maneuver the camera around so that you're just seeing what it is you want to see. But quite a bit of fun. It's a good way of looking through your property. Again, I'm just moving right way back out now, and then getting a good view from up above. If I want to come down a bit, just move the camera up, and then I can move it down like that. So we can get all these different views. But you'll notice that once I'm in this view, if I hit the escape bar to stop flying, which is this button here, I've now changed. I'm now staying in this view. This is the view I'm in. So the original picture I took has now changed to whatever I've end up with. And that's how you do perspective views and how you maneuver around your building, also known as flying.